Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, July 10th suggest that Catherine "Cat" Richardson will attempt to sabotage Eva Thomas, while her mom, Nicole Richardson, could gear up to play a little dirty. So it's time to dive into what fans should expect to unfold in Fairmont Crest. From the sounds of it, Cat will set a trap for Eva while training her at their dad's, Ted Richardson's office. As Cat is busy with her purse brand co-venture with BFF and cousin, Chelsea Hamilton, she can no longer help Ted out, and he decided to give the role to Eva. Cat's been summoned to train Eva. However, it's been rubbing Cat the wrong way that some people in the office believe Eva will do just as good of a job at as she did. It sounds like she'll do something to make her half-sister look incompetent at the workplace, so maybe she's even hoping Ted will fire her. Still, Eva's a smart cookie, so there's a good chance she won't fall for whatever Cat has planned. Across town, BTG spoilers imply that Pamela Curtis will pop back up on canvas. Pamela will have an untraditional idea for the modeling agency she and Danny Dupree are launching. Still, Danny will likely be reeling from catching Andre Richardson with Ashley Morgan on a date, so will she be up to hearing her bestie's proposal? Pamela may act as more of a sounding board than a business partner during the July 10th show, as Danny is sure to vent about the situation. That is, if she's not too hungover to talk about it. Finally, Nicole will be officially DONE with Leslie Thomas's games on Thursday's show. From the sounds of it, the two will have a confrontation, but how messy will their face-off get? Leslie can be mighty cocky when she wants to be, so she'll poke at Nicole and how her marriage is spiraling. Still, how will Nicole retaliate, and will she decide it's time to play dirty? Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that Nicole has always taken the high road when it comes to confrontation, and tends to avoid toxicity at all costs. So if she decides to dig into her darker side to strike back at Leslie, the villainess, better brace herself for the claws to come out. We begin Wednesday's episode at the precinct, where Smitty and Jacob are still doing their buddy cop routine. Jacob is pleased to report that Malone is becoming increasingly nervous that they're finally getting close to finding out what happened 2 years ago. Jacob doesn't appreciate that Malone appears to be turning Chief Hawthorne against Smitty, making him look like the enemy of their brotherhood. That's the thing about corrupt cops, Smitty says. They always underestimate. So far, Jacob and Smitty have figured out that Malone's $500,000 payday came through on the same night that Martin returned home acting weird. They also know that Vernon testified for Malone at his hearing, which means they're getting very close. And something else is troubling Jacob. He remembers bumping into his dad after acing his detective exam on the night in question. What had him in such a hurry, too busy to congratulate his own son? And in street clothes, no less. Jacob gives his father a speech about the oath they took as men in uniform, asking him one last time, what happened that night? You want to know how all of this adds up? The chief asks. The simple answer is, it doesn't. Instead of coming clean, he gaslights his son, making him feel crazy for chasing after crimes that don't exist. Jacob obliges, but it's clear that his father's answer was far from satisfying. Samantha arrives home to a nervous Martin, who's furious that she waited until after defying gravity to leave her wicked sing-along like he asked. Martin promises that neither of his kids are in trouble. He just doesn't want to take any chances. There are some things you don't understand, he says, explaining that being a gay black congressman puts his entire family at risk. It's my job to keep you both safe. There's no need for an explanation. As the kids go about their business upstairs, Martin remains downstairs on the couch, clutching a baseball bat like Kenneth is about to bust through the door at any moment. After a few more nightmares, he awakens to Smitty, assuring him that he's home and safe. Martin begs Smitty to drop it, but he won't. With tears in his eyes, he demands that Martin tell him what happened that night. If you did something, you need to tell me, he says. But Martin can't do it. It's because I need to protect our family, our future, Martin explains, without explaining anything at all. Smitty agrees to wait and talk about it in the morning, but you can tell he's struggling. At the casino, Malone hands Randy over to Joey, who reads his worst employee the riot act for stealing from him. It doesn't help Randy's case that Malone caught him at the airport with a ticket to Bali. "I bet you only packed for warm weather," Joey tells him. "Too bad it's cold where you're going." As for Kenneth, Randy says his gun jammed. He knew that he nicked Kenneth with a bullet, and he thought he killed him, but he wasn't sure. "So you admit that you're useless to me," Joey replies, asking Malone what they do to toys who are no longer useful. To his credit, Randy maintains his sense of humor in his darkest hour, referring to Malone as Temu's shaft. Then again, this hour might not be so dark after all, because here come Doug and Vanessa. Randy tells them to leave, but Vanessa won't back down, asking Malone what the police department would think about his moonlighting gig with Joey. Vanessa continues to push her luck, informing Joey that she and Doug will be taking Randy with them when they leave. He tells her to stop playing Lady Protector and get back behind the gates where she belongs, so she threatens to blow up their little arrangement, suggesting that hurting Randy could cost Joey a lot. In exchange for setting him free, Randy will remain gone and their business can continue. Joey indeed sends Randy away, explaining that he's only letting him go as a thank you for exposing his wife's affair years ago. But he makes Vanessa stay, initially to reprimand her. But like all of their encounters, it very quickly turns to sex. At Uptown, Ashley can't help but notice that Danny has been staring at her and Andre all night. Sure enough, Danny eventually approaches their table, albeit flashing a megawatt smile instead of a gun. "Isn't this a surprise?" she tells them. What follows is extremely awkward. Danny apologizes for interrupting what appears to be wholesome entertainment, but Ashley corrects her, saying that she and Andre are kind of in the middle of something. Admitting that she's surprised to see them together, Danny asks if this pairing is new, to which Andre and Ashley offer mixed responses. Danny also brings up Andre's reputation as a lady killer, asking if Ashley is just another notch on his bedpost. Andre says there was someone he thought could have been the real deal, but she always had one foot in the past, and she made him the side plot in her story. He says this woman was a lot like Danny, someone who runs through people's lives like she's the only one who matters. "Anyone who had a shot with someone this genuine and let him slip through her fingers is crazy," Ashley says, to which Danny replies, "Valid point. This woman clearly needs her head examined." Andre says this woman isn't crazy, she's just been burned by love. He says she denied carrying a torch for her ex, even though everyone could see the smoke signals. Danny doesn't appreciate this, suggesting that Andre probably just couldn't satisfy this woman properly. "I don't mean to be rude, but we were here for a while before you showed up, and it's time to call it a night," Ashley says, excusing herself to go freshen up. While she's gone, Danny insists she isn't jealous of Ashley. Instead, she's experiencing secondhand embarrassment from Andre's false narrative of their relationship. Danny suggests that Andre can't handle when life gets complicated, which is why he's pursuing someone so basic she makes vanilla seem spicy. But Danny doesn't stop there. She accuses Andre of chasing after barely post-pubescent nurses who still get carded at happy hour. And of course, it's right when Ashley returns from the bathroom. Brushing off Danny's catty comment, Ashley asks if she needs a ride home, making her seem even more pathetic. But Danny doesn't need any help in that department, replying that she's going to have a nightcap, a toast to her empty life, throwing in a "youth is fleeting" for good measure. Oh, Danny, I'll be honest. When I heard that Beyond the Gates had my beloved Shanice going on a date with Derek, my reaction was a loud and long, "No!" It sounded to me like not a big mistake, but a colossal one. I mean, come on. Bless his heart, the firefighter is as sweet as pie, but as dull as dishwater, and I wanted more, a lot more, for my favorite nurse. But then I queued up the episode, and I'll be damned. Beyond the Gates pulled it off. Shanice was her usual charisma factory self, as captivating a presence as they come, and she actually made me like Derek more. Now, do I think it would be more exciting to see her paired with someone who is as engaging as she is? For sure. But if this pairing salvages Derek and gives us more screen time for Shanice, I'm willing to go along for the ride. So, it seems, are most fans. On Threads, Y'all were guessing that they'd be married before Halloween, right after Shanice gives her new boo the glow-up to end all glow-ups. Meanwhile, on the other side of Uptown, Andre was working overtime to get Ashley invested in their date. And by God, he not only got her to focus on him, he got me invested in their date too. Obviously, I prefer the photographer with Danny. She's a firecracker. Ashley, by comparison, a mere sparkler. But she is better with Andre. And the more we get to know him, the more I loved him. He's not at all the womanizing player that we were originally told that he is he? Uncertainty has become kind of a way of life for Beyond the Gates' embattled Eva. But while she may not have considered the possibility that Ted isn't her father after all, portrayer Ambyr Michelle has. That would be very heartbreaking, she tells Soaps.com. But in a way, Daytime's Rookie of the Year is braced for it. A lot of fans are speculating that Bill Hamilton is actually Eva's father, Michelle says. Like a lot. They keep saying, "That's you, that's your dad." I'm like, okay, we'll see. Come what may, Eva is likely to have Ted in her corner. I think because Ted is very sweet, he would stick around even if it's a distant relationship, given the bond that they are creating. That's not going to disappear. Though no one may want Bill for a father. Just ask Naomi or Chelsea. Eva might find an upside. Should the twist come to pass, she wouldn't be related to Andre anymore. When the pair first crossed paths, fans took notice. I was like, "Guys, that's Eva's cousin. You know that, right?" And they're like, "No, it doesn't matter." I'm like, "I think it matters." Despite that, even Michelle can't deny what's obvious. Were they not blood, Eva and Andre would make a cute couple for sure, she admits. When they first met, he tried to flirt, but Eva shut it down because she knew in the back of her mind that they're cousins. That can't happen. The Beyond the Gates What to Watch moments for Thursday, July 10th, 2025. Tease big fireworks. Pamela stews over a new idea for a model agency. She thinks outside the box. Kat finds a way to sabotage Eva's new job, while Nicole reaches her boiling point with Leslie. Pamela wants to start a modeling agency with her bestie Danny. The two have been putting their brains together. Pamela will come up with an unconventional idea on Thursday's episode. It's not something you would expect from a modeling agency, but will thinking outside the box work in Pamela's favor? Or could it hurt their chances at success? And will Danny go along with it? Danny has been open to the idea of opening a modeling agency, but she still insists on calling it the Dupree Curtis Modeling Agency. Obviously, wants top billing, Danny would love to help other aspiring models, especially since her daughter left the industry. Meanwhile, fireworks will ignite on Thursday's episode, even though the 4th of July was last week. Kat doesn't like that Eva has been working with Ted. The two have gotten closer together, which is driving her nuts. She will find a way to sabotage Eva's new position. But will it work in her favor? Or will Ted see right through her? They're not the only ones who are butting heads. Nicole will finally reach her boiling point with Leslie, and we're excited to see how this will play out. What will she do to the woman who destroyed her family? And will it work? It's hard to beat Leslie at her own game. Got a red-hot theory about your favorite soap storyline? Email ambyr@soaphub.com. Yours could be our next hot topic. The Beyond the Gates What to Watch moments for Wednesday, July 9th, 2025, reveal dramatic moments. Jacob unlocks a memory thanks to Smitty's help. Vanessa serves Joey an ultimatum. Meanwhile, Danny tries to control Andre's love life. Smitty has been working hard to expose Marcel Malone, but he received the worst news of his life. His editor wants to kill the story. Smitty has already learned so much about Malone that he's going to continue. Then, he got the best news ever. Smitty learned that his source has the name of a key witness who testified at Malone's hearing. Jacob's father doesn't want him to speak to Smitty about Malone, but that doesn't stop Jacob and Smitty from working together. The two compare notes, which unlocks a core memory for Jacob. What will he learn about his past? And will he share this with Smitty? Meanwhile, Vanessa will serve Joey an ultimatum. Will he finally give her what she wants? Or will he refuse to take her on her deal? Even if that means he might not get anything out of it. Needless to say, Danny isn't happy about Andre's blossoming romance with Ashley. She will get territorial over him. Danny thinks she can dictate his love life, in order to get what she wants. But will it work? Or will it explode in her face? That's a terrible way to start fresh with someone. But Dani wants to retain some sort of control over her love life, especially when it hasn't turned out the way she expected. So, it makes sense as to why she's acting this way. This past February, Alegria joined the cast of Beyond the Gates, the CBS daytime drama that has been praised for its representation, storytelling, and diverse cast. As Tomás Navarro, Alegria plays a smart, stylish, and sometimes mysterious lawyer working at Bill Hamilton's prestigious law firm. Alegria is quickly making a name for himself as one of daytime television's most exciting rising stars on BTG. Best known for his role as attorney Tomás "Tom" Navarro on Alegria brings charm, intensity, and a fresh perspective to the small screen. In our exclusive interview, we talk about his career in film and television, his modeling, what we can expect from Tomás in the future, and the surprising place his character will find himself in. He also weighs in on the Kat and Eva situation. Could it evolve into a triangle? His character quickly became a fan favorite, with viewers intrigued by Tomás's flirtation with Kat Richardson and his growing connection to Eva Thomas. The role allows Alegria to showcase both his dramatic depth and his natural charisma, two qualities that continue to draw audiences in. The actor has a real passion for salsa dancing and, before stepping into the spotlight on BTG, Alegria built a strong foundation in both television and film. His TV credits include appearances on CSI and Intelligence, both airing on CBS, and the fan-favorite reboot Gossip Girl on the CW. On the big screen, he appeared in the action-packed feature film A Score to Settle, further showcasing his range and versatility as an actor. In addition to acting, Alegria has a diverse range of talents and interests. He is an avid salsa dancer and practices martial arts. He also enjoys exploring Los Angeles on his beloved motorcycle, Lola. His dedication to movement and physical expression stems from his background in physical therapy, which he studied while attending Stony Brook University. It was during college that a required theater class unexpectedly sparked his passion for acting, setting him on a new career path. Alegria's story is also tied to Colombian history. His great-great-great-great-grandfather, Rafael Núñez, served as president of Colombia and is credited with writing the lyrics to the country's national anthem, O Gloria Inmarcesible. Born in Queens, New York, and raised between the U.S. and Colombia, Alegria is proud of his Latino heritage and multicultural upbringing. He brings that rich background to every role he takes on. Wow, parts of the Tuesday, July 8th episode of Beyond the Gates surprised us. The biggest, Shanice, who is Ashley's boss at the hospital, DM'd Ashley's ex and suggested they hang. In the process, we learned more about these two characters than ever before. There were other opportunities to learn as well. First impressions of Shanice and Derek are that they have potential for being a viable, watchable, adorable couple. In just the short time we saw them at Uptown, they were real with each other. They asked each other questions designed to get to know each other, and they didn't let the other put themselves down. It was also nice to see Shanice out of the hospital, and it was refreshing to see Derek smile and have fun. His relationship with Ashley didn't provide that. They were in their doomed phase, so they simply moaned, groaned, and complained about each other and their situation, and they made bad choices. The best choice they may have made was to break up. At least for Derek. Ashley and Andre went on their first date at Uptown, just like Derek and Shanice. Needless to say, out of the two dates, Ashley and Andre's was more awkward to watch. The two made attempts at having a deep conversation, and we certainly learned more about Andre. But Ashley kept glancing over at Derek. It might have been smarter if Ashley and Andre had left and had their first date somewhere else. That way, they would have missed Dani, who entered Uptown and immediately went ballistic when she spotted an intimate moment between Ashley and Andre. Even though her relationship with Andre is shaky, mostly because of some of the issues she's understandably having, she and Andre have something. Seeing Andre out on a date had to throw her. After playing chess online with an adult for 2 weeks, Tyrell thought it was okay to meet up with him and invite him back to his house. What was he thinking? Sure, he had no idea that he let the bigoted busboy of the DMV Kenneth go into their home. And he has no idea how shady Kenneth is. But come on, he should have been suspicious of the guy. The man had a bandage on his face. He's young, but he needs to learn the social game. Tyrell even admitted to Martin that he should have texted his dads about Kenneth first. Understandably, Randy wouldn't want to go through with killing Kenneth, but he didn't follow through on getting the man out of town. He didn't do a very thorough job of making the busboy disappear. And now the guy is running around asking Martin for double his blackmail rate. Meanwhile, Randy made himself disappear. Will he stay off of Joey Armstrong's radar for long? Only time will tell. Bill has already alerted Joey and told him Kenneth isn't dead, and he's making more demands. Marcel tried a preemptive strike of sorts when he confronted Jacob about Smitty's illegal research into his financials. The shady detective offered up, out of the goodness of his own heart, a couple of excuses for those two mystery deposits. Jacob knows Malone is lying. It just proves that Smitty is going to have to watch how much further he can push his investigation. Once again, Jacob and Smitty were talking about cop corruption in the middle of the precinct. They compared notes about their investigation and dropped names like Vernon Dupree and even Jacob's dad, the chief of police. And they weren't whispering at all. How do they expect to stay off the radar if they're constantly conversing with cops surrounding them? Have you checked out our Beyond the Gates Facebook page and signed up for Soap Hub's BTG newsletter? Join the conversation with other fans. Be sure to tune into BTG on CBS or Paramount+. Check local listings for air times. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Thursday, July 10th, 2025. It's time to revisit the dynamic duo of Pamela and Danny Dupree. When Danny was at one of her lowest points, her bestie Pamela tried to find her something new to focus on. That something became the idea of their very own modeling agency, designed from the ground up. In Thursday's episode, Pamela has an unconventional idea for the modeling agency. Danny is once again seething at the way her life is going. Is this the best time for Pamela to be throwing up a Hail Mary in the first quarter? There is no love lost between half-sisters, Eva and Kat Richardson. Ted has given the position of office manager to his daughter Eva, which has ruffled the feathers of his other daughter Kat. Even though Kat had said that she would help get Eva up to speed, there was something in her eyes that suggested she had more up her sleeve. Kat still wants both Leslie and Eva out of her family's lives forever, and won't stop until that happens. In Thursday's episode, Kat sabotages Eva's new position at Ted's office. Knowing the system inside and out, it won't be hard for Kat to find something to alter that will make Eva look bad, or at least make Ted think he hired the right person for the role, or that he just tried to do something nice that didn't work out. Leslie has been a thorn in the side of the Duprees since she arrived in Fairmont Crest, and now, enough is enough. In Thursday's episode, Nicole hits her boiling point with Leslie. But Leslie is always one to be careful of. If Leslie is going to be getting proactive about her, then she needs to see it through, or else Leslie will strike back, and her bark is as bad as her bite. Just ask Laura. Seeing Nicole team up with Ted would be amazing, but is Nicole ready for such a partnership again? Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, July 9th, suggest Danny Dupree is set to have a major meltdown, while Jacob Hawthorne's memory is triggered, and Vanessa McBride issues a threat. So time to dive into what fans should expect for tomorrow's show. As the Tuesday, July 8th show wrapped up with Danny running into Andre Richardson and Ashley Morgan while they were on their first date at Uptown,